Hey there everyone, it's Unique History Channel. Today we're going to be doing a reading from Antisemitism in Canada, and we'll be touching on anti-Semitism in Quebec in the 1880s to 1900s. Besides the Dreyfus and Nathan affairs in Europe, other contemporary European events affected relations between Jews and French Canadians. The Russian pogroms of 1905 sparked a worldwide wave of anger against the Russian barbarity, leading to the revocation of the Russian-American Trade Treaty by the United States Congress. In Montreal, a protest meeting in November was attended by a number of the city's most prominent English Canadians. French Canadians, however, did not show up. Senator Laurent Oliver David sent his regrets. Mayor Prefontaine sent greetings. Archbishop Brzezinski deeply deplored the massacres, which he acknowledged were contrary to the Christian spirit. Still, he thought it inappropriate to take in the Assembly. The next year, during a debate in the House of Commons over a resolution condemning the Russians, Henry Barossa distinguished himself by speaking out not against the perpetrators of pogroms, but against its victims. For centuries, Barossa averred, Russian peasants had been the prey of Jewish usurers. More recently, he added, Jews have been the instigators of most of the disorders that have taken place in Russia, financing the acts of disintegration from the penny subscribed for the Russian Jewish relief in foreign countries. The Canadian Jewish Times noted that Barossa presumed to speak for his French-Canadian fellow countrymen. The Weekly hoped that Sir Wilfred Laurier, who supported the resolution, was a better and true exponent of the French-Canadian feeling. In fact, Barossa was closer to public opinion. It was possible that the French-Canadian responses to the pogroms were colored by immigration anxieties. Many English Canadians and Americans Britons were no more enthusiastic about large-scale Jewish immigration to their countries than their French counterparts. Yet the English-speaking peoples did not hesitate to express genuine sympathy for Russian Jews and horror at the behavior of the Russian government. In French Canada, however, a feeling of kinship with backward Christian Russia had developed over the years with their rural, anti-urban, anti-industrial Christian ethos. French-Canadian nationalists sometimes idealized Russia as unspoiled by modernity, and Russian peasants as the embodiment of their own despairing idyllic way of life. Conversely, they tended to demonize the Jews. In those attitudes lay the source of Barossa's hard-hearted remarks and the reluctance of others to speak out. The trial of Mendel Bliss in Russia for the ritual murder was in some ways shocking to the world as the opinion were the pogroms. That is, the medieval accusation frequently declared false by popes and scholars, and disproved in trials such as Chisé Ezlar, was found credence in the 20th century, still unbelievable to some Western liberals. It took almost 2 years, from 1911 to 1913, to vindicate Bliss. Seemed even more incredible. Outside of Russia, public opinion had perceived the trial was a travesty. The Pope himself intervened by sending evidence to construct the testimony of a Roman Catholic priest who had testified against the accused. In French Canada, where Jews had become a compelling symbol of feared loss of control over Quebec's destiny, there were many people prepared to regard them as capable of almost anything evil. That Abe Watt should have supported the libel in his 1913 to the ACJC was not surprising. The association, after all, often entertained and promoted extreme anti-Jewish views, and other French-Canadian clergy and church officials had accepted as the truth. Perhaps it was not so surprising that La Patrie supported Bliss's accusers, but it was highly disturbing that Armand Lavergne, once an intimate associate of Laurier, now close co-worker Barossa, and editor of Le Nationaliste, believed in the accusation. The belief in ritual murder may have been a natural extension of other long-held beliefs about Jews imported to French Canada from Europe. In contrast to Calvinist Protestants with their affinity for the Hebrew Bible and language, many pious Catholics were accustomed to thinking of Jews in medieval terms and members of the decided race. Pilgrims to Palestine assured their readers that Jews harbored an implacable hatred for Jesus Christ and his church. Christ-killing Jews were said to be like Cain and have deservedly guilty heart. Their suffering affirmed Christian faith Jesus himself, most Catholics believe, had declared their anguish incurable. If they were killers and killers of God, Jews would, of course, have other dangerous characteristics, and they were widely regarded as pretentious devotees of cunning and cowards, often depicted in French Canadian literature as physically repulsive, their ugly bodies reflecting their twisted souls. Joseph A. L'Archieve, an Acadian from New Brunswick, and a Recollect Frere, was yet another of the French-Canadian pilgrims to the Holy Land, who had wrote in his book about his travels. He described Jews of Jerusalem as having hook noses, hunchbacks, ghastly faces. They are, he stated, people of a frightening deliberation, displaying the degeneracy typical of their Levantine race. These notions were not new in themselves, having joined some currency in French Canada from the beginning. What was the new of the presence in Quebec of a significant Jewish population? Earlier anti-Jewish tales had been little more than the stuff of religion and folklore, unrelated to real people. Now they had been tossed less often, and generally more modern language. Now strident beliefs pretend to neighbors and fellow citizens, making them more dangerous. In these years of internal communal tension, being English in French Canada or French in English Canada was difficult enough. Being an outsider, especially a Jewish outsider, in French Canada was especially difficult. Jews bear the brunt of medieval superstition, a state rejuvenation, as French Canadians wax nostalgic about their past, a past without Jews. An old, quiet, pastoral Christian world was waning, giving way to a new one, commercial, industrial, urban, secular in character. Jews in French Canada were a part of this new world, in fact, its most potent symbol, and since they had been absent from the old, as such they became the targets of considerable animosity, indeed the scapegoats, for people who viewed the present with distaste and future with anxiety.